Good morning, wrestling fans. Today is Monday, March 27th, 2023. Lance Brock here to talk some pro wrestling with you this morning. And first, I just want to start this episode by saying I'm sorry for yesterday. I made a big mistake talking about WWE Superstar Sunday on A&E. For some reason, I don't know why, but I was thinking that Rikishi was going to be on one of the episodes of Biography last night. But it was someone in his family, Yokozuna, instead. Don't know how that mix-up happened, but accidentally made that mistake yesterday on GMWF. I was right about the other one, though, which was the first episode of Biography WWE Legends last night, and that was the current WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, which I thought this episode was pretty good. And what was discussed was just about what you would expect when she was a little girl growing up, having Ric Flair as a father. Showed some of the time she spent playing volleyball, and then when she decided to get into wrestling, discussed her relationship with her brother Reed, and then his unfortunate passing in 2013 when he was only 25, and then NXT when she started, and then of course when she was brought up to the main roster, main eventing WrestleMania. So pretty good episode there. Charlotte Flair. That was the first biography of the night. And then next is Yokozuna. And they interviewed his daughter and his son in this one, and they showed his grandson. So starts off showing him growing up, and then when he started training with Afa and Sika, and first I should remember the names, but they showed when he first started with WWF at the time, and then at this time we see some interviews with Bruce Pritchard discussing some of the characters. But then they say Vince McMahon said, they already have so many Samoans now anyway, and then they come up with the idea of a sumo wrestler, and then put his hair up in a bun and put Mr. Fuji as his manager. And I'm sure everybody remembers Yokozuna when he first came in, destroying everybody. I don't remember if they showed actually any clips from this, but one of the memorable moments that I remember is what he did to Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And actually not that long ago, I remember Hacksaw Jim Duggan actually shared this as a post on his Instagram. When it happened, Yokozuna attacked him. Well, they had a match, and then at the time that was when someone first knocked Yokozuna off his feet. And then after the match, Yoko attacked him and did the bonsai drop while Duggan had the American flag over him. And I remember I was still young at the time, and I was worried about how Jim Duggan was. And then he would go on to win the 1993 Royal Rumble, and then WrestleMania 9, defeat Hogan for the defeat Bret Hart for the championship, and then Hogan would come in and win the title. And I got a little carried away there, away from the biography last night. But then they did discuss how much he could eat, and they talked about this time they got, for the vignettes and stuff, a lot of sushi and things like that. They say they got enough for 10 people, but Yokozuna ate it all just by himself. And they would show him being on Regis and Kelly at the time with Jim Cornette. And The Undertaker was interviewed for it, The Godfather. And then they would talk about later in his life when his weight kind of started to get out of control a little bit. And The Godfather and Rikishi talk about how they tried to talk him into tell him maybe it's time to try to lose some weight. But unfortunately, he passed away. And we see Afa interviewed. And it is a very good documentary. I would recommend both of them, and especially the Yokozuna one out of the two. The Charlotte Flair one is good though, but I'd say probably the better of the two was probably the Yokozuna one, or just my opinion anyway, it was. And then we go on to WWE rivals, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. I think this is probably the most recent rivalry they've talked about on the show, and it definitely wasn't bad at all. I wouldn't say it was anything real great, but it is, if you have some extra time, definitely worth watching, And we even see an interview with Sika in this one, of course, the father of Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman, of course, is interviewed in this. So that was WWE Superstar Sunday for last night. And like I've been saying, we have a busy week. Tonight is the Go Home Raw before WrestleMania. Luckily, I haven't seen them market this as WrestleMania Raw like they did last year. But we got the Go Home episode tonight. And Thursday starts off, but first, let me go back a day. This Wednesday, all new episode of AEW Dynamite, and then right after that, the first episode of AEW All Access. And then we got Thursday, everything starting, the live episode of Impact, the Impact and New Japan show Multiverse United, and the Dax Harwood live special, and there is definitely a lot of pro wrestling that'll be going on at the end of this week and into the weekend. I will definitely try to keep doing episodes of 360 Wrestling Fanatic and right here in the morning for GMWF. And that is the Monday episode for this week. Thank you everyone for listening on Spreaker or wherever you are listening. Hope everyone has a great Monday today. Hope everyone enjoys WWE Monday Night Raw tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for the Tuesday episode. Keep watching pro wrestling.